Hello, hello, and welcome to Kip Plays Everyone. I'm Kip Elroy, and today playing the part of Everyone is me, Kip. So we're playing Citizen Sleeper 2. I played a little bit of the first one and enjoyed it, but didn't really... I don't know, I tend to jump around other games a lot, and so something else probably just came out around the same time, and just but I did really enjoy it. So I was looking forward to the second one when it came out, because I mean if it's anything like the first one but better, then I mean yeah, it's got my vote. And it was on sale, and so that kind of helped make my decision for me. So we have classes. To start, I don't think I want to go the extractor. I don't usually go for the beefy kind of classes, so which leaves us with operator or machinist. I feel like in the first game there was more than three. Three doesn't seem like that many, but maybe they kind of realized that other classes were redundant, or I don't know. That's entirely possible. So operator gets drones, it looks like. But are more physically fragile. I'm thinking machinist. Plus he's got the whole like no shirt with the yeah okay. Yeah, the machinist is doing it for me a little bit. Not gonna lie. All right. But yeah, I've had my eye on this for a little while. It looked perfect for the kinds of games I want to play on here. So yeah, let's get started. In the moment before waking up, the dark space before conscious thought, you struggle to find the pieces of yourself. Usually, these pieces come with a particular cadence, each appearing sequentially, like the boot process of an old terminal. First, your body, artificial, compromised, but relaying sense data all the same. Then its context, the breeze of air filtration, the soft contact of your birth in 0G. Then emotion, coming into focus, coming into your body, bringing with it that first instinct, the one that has framed your past 100 cycles, fear. But the familiar sequence does not arrive. Instead, you are unmoored in space, your body distant, your context silent, even your emotions somehow obscured and scattered. Among all that disarray, only one familiar thing arrives, the fear. It is scrambled, panicked fear, the drowning fear, the falling fear, the fear that makes you reach desperately for any stable point. It is the fear that tells you something is wrong, something is very wrong with you. Wake up, sleeper. The voice is whispered in your ear, an act that makes you suddenly aware of your head, pulsing in pain, your body rigid with tension. Sleeper, a familiar name, a mind copied, emulated, a body built, implanted, one person sleeping until their dead is worked away, their double being made to work, to be consumed, and eventually to be destroyed. A proxy, an emulation, a sleeper. That is what you are. But you escaped. You remember that now. Broke free from your creators. Essenarp. Yep. Essenarp? Sure. Let's go with that. In search of a future. You cannot remember the details of your escape, but you know the fear has been with you ever since. All of a sudden, you remember you have eyes, and your eyes flicker open. It was a little bit of an awkward read, but I mean, it makes sense when you've been sleeping for so long, I guess, so to speak. Oh, who's this? He looks kind of creepy. I mean, I guess, yeah, that's the point. Pale eyes and a pale face. Lane. The name comes with its own specific sensation of fear, one you recoil from instinctively. Sorry to interrupt, a sharp smirk, but this ends here. You search your mind for more than a name. Is this how you reward me for my generosity? Lane is leaning over your horizontal floating body, looking down into your eyes. I took you in, protected you, gave you a purpose. You try to look away to the corners of your vision to find something you understand. Your body does not respond. But I suppose that wasn't enough. He reaches into his pocket of his jacket and retrieves a small vial. This wasn't enough. The vial glitters, the subject you know and have known for a long time. The stabilizer, the drug that keeps your artificial body, your emulated mind, your inevitable decay. The only balm for your planned obsolescence. I wanted to say adolescence. But that's not adolescence, no. Obsolescence. I don't know what that word means. Obsolete? Probably? Yeah, okay. The liquid, rolling in the vial, fills you with disgust. Lane pockets the vial, but it would be wasted on you now, after what you have done to this body of yours. He looks at you with a palpable disgust. Lane's eyes scan your body, and as they do, you become aware of the wires and tubes attached to you, those that were meant to free you from your dependence, from the stabilizer, and control it grants Lane. They were free, you piece of shit. They don't need you anymore. Your voice comes from some... Oh, that's... I thought that was me. That's not me. Well, I don't know who this person is, so maybe that voice fits them, maybe it doesn't. The voice comes from somewhere behind Lane's head. It is a voice you know, but when you search your mind to try to understand why, you find only dizzying darkness. Shut him up. Lane barks the command, and you hear the sounds of impact, of pain from elsewhere in your room. You try to move your limbs again, and this time you feel a flicker, the twitch of a finger. You feel the extension and compression of synthetic muscle. Free, are you? Lane smirks. You were free when I disabled your tracker, when I gave you the stabilizer you needed. He scans your body with angry eyes. Now, you aren't free. You're just broken. I had such big plans for you, Sleeper. I invested in you. Lane grips your arm hard, and you feel a jolt of reaction. You will the arm to move, but you've ruined all that. Lane speaks louder over the sound of the struggle behind him. I will try to preserve your body, of course. I have my own uses for it, but your emulation... You feel one of his hands searching behind your head. He finds and grips the thick cable running into the port at the base of your skull. I will burn it out. Lane jerks forward, slamming across your body, then spinning away out of sight. You feel yourself rolling, the cables plugged into you, looping and wrapping around your limbs. Then, you feel hands steadying you, pulling cables. You glance around wildly and see someone diligently unplugging you. You meet his eyes. Hey! He waves a hand in your dazed face. We need to move. Lane won't be out long. He unloops a cable from around your wrist. Sleeper. Help me out here. You blink, slowly. Do you know this person? He leans over you, and you feel his hands on the connector, flicking switches, releasing locks. Come on, come on, come on! He tugs the connector clear and pulls you up. You see the room you were in for the first time, filled with tech and terminals, wires waving everywhere, all lit by big windows looking out an impossibly bright screen-filled street beyond. In the corner you see the dark shape of a floating body surrounded by a glittering constellation of crimson babbles. Is that blood? Move! You're wrestled and shoved toward the door, which slides open in front of you, and then you're out in all that brightness, all that movement, gliding hard toward some unknown destination. You come to a stop in a dark alley, the one who guided you here pausing to catch his breath. He doubles over beside a massive support unit that sends a lukewarm breeze across your skin. You stare at him, trying to recall anything about him. You notice his tattered jacket, his lightweight clothes. You remember the station runs hot. Something about the power that flows through this place. He looks up and meets your eyes. What's going on, sleeper? He wipes sweat from his forehead, and it floats away in a swarm of spheres. Talk to me. Who are you? You see a concerned frown across his face. Don't mess with me, sleeper. That's not funny. He comes closer, eyeing you carefully. What station are we on? He narrows his eyes, waits for the answer. You close your eyes, trying to recall. You force your way through the dark to the image of a station. No, a city, growing on the back of a vast set of hexagonal solar cells, shadowed by them. You open your eyes. Dark side. The word leaves your mouth like an exhale, an instinct, before you heard yourself sound it out. You didn't know it was there. He sighs. And me? Who am I? You see something like fear in his eyes. Panic, perhaps. You stare hard at his face, the slight upturn of his mouth, the intensity of his stare. Nothing comes. He closes his eyes and drops his head, putting a hand to his temple. The reboot. He's speaking quietly to himself. Lane interrupted the process, and he lifts his head and stares at you. We need to get going. We need to leave. He turns and kicks off down the alley. Come on. The rig can't be far. This is already interesting. I remember the first one had a really interesting plot too. As you led through the passage and the surface ways of the station, you try to recall your life here. The texture, the temperature of Darkside feels familiar, but you struggle to pin specific memories to it. Focusing hard, you recall waking up in these passages, cycle after cycle, the rhythms of the station flowing over you and along with your crowds. You recall desperation and the slow decay of your body that caused it. The lane. Then, Lane, thank you. Can we please? Yeah, it was going so well too. And then, Lane, those pale eyes, offering you glittering vial stabilizer, the promise of supplying more for your work, a deal he locked you into your cage. A deal he locked you into like a cage. There, your memory fails you, but in the dark beyond that moment, the residue of panic, of fear, remains. You were Lane's prisoner, Lane's plaything. You shudder in the cold passage. Wait. Your guide holds up a hand, and you stop your glide using the wall. Ahead, you see the tunnel open up into a wide open bay, with a few doors leading to cylindrical tunnels. The docks. They're watching the rigs. He nods towards the docks, and you see one of the doors has a couple of figures flanking it. One covered in ornate tattoos, the other with bright silver implants along their cheekbones. Uh, Utsubo? 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 What it? No? Okay. Utsubo. Utsubo. Is that like the? Is that Japanese? I don't know. I don't know. Lane's guys. Whatever. He looks at you and shakes his head in frustration. All this. It's not coming back to you, is it? Something catches your eyes and you see he is playing with the coin, nervously turning it over and over in his fingers. He sees you looking and slips it away. He places a hand on his chest. I'm Seraphin, alright? He looks pained when he speaks. Lane, he was our captor, both of us. We did this so we could escape. We needed to reboot you, to break your dependence on stabilizer. He pauses. You know what that is, right? You nod, meekly. But Lane interrupted me back there. The reboot didn't complete, and... He sighs and shakes his head. We can still make this work. He looks back at the dock. I'll lead them away. You get the docking bridge open. If we make it to the rig, I know how to get us in. Got that? He searches your face for a sign of recognition. What's the rig? Seraphin looks annoyed. A ship. Our ship. Or at least it soon will be. Lane assigned it to us as when we're on jobs for him. Get that door open. He pats you on the shoulder. I know you can do this. Seraphin kicks off hard, glides into the docks. Over here, shitheads! He bellows to the guards as he barrels through. They immediately push off from the walls, giving chase. You wait a breath, then glide across the door they were guarding. You look, already panicked at the tightly sealed doors. Its control panel locked out. You hear a shout from somewhere nearby. You need to get it open. Okay, so here's a little tutorial during scenes. You may encounter skill checks where you can perform certain actions using your skills. Like the dice actions you will encounter later, skill checks can have a positive, neutral, or negative outcome. The better the rating of your skill, the more likely you'll succeed on a check. The odds of success are displayed when you select the check. You can see more info in the guide section of the pause menu. Okay. So we can either hack the door, or we can break the seal. Breaking the seal is a 50-50 with no negative effects, whereas hacking the door is much lower, it looks like. Yeah, like 25% positive and 25% negative. Yeah, as an engineer, I think we'd have a better chance of breaking the seal. And positive outcome. Awesome. You shift to the central access panel and wrench it open. It only takes you a moment to understand the mechanism, and you reach in and snap the locking access, the door popping open with a hiss. Go, go! Seraphin flies past you through the doorway into the docking tunnel. I feel like there should have been a third go there. Cause just two goes is not enough goes. Like one go is like a suggestion. 3 goes is urgent. 2 goes is nothing. That's nothing. It's one or 3. And anything in between or any more than that is just like it's yeah. It just doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound right. You turn to see the 2 guards approaching fast across the docks and quickly glide after Seraphin. Seraphin is already at Rig's door and putting an entry code. The Rig's door scissors open and you both rush inside. Quickly! Seraphin grabs you by the arm and drags you into the cockpit. Ship's layout hazy in your mind. He dumps you in a flight seat and straps himself into his own. You see him tap a series of buttons as he does, talking to himself. Come on. The rig drives, rumbles to life, and Seraphin slams the button on the console. You feel the force of the ship's acceleration as it pulls away. Oh, here we go. Okay. Okay, now we are... Well, I didn't know where we were before, so that doesn't help me. But we're in the rig now, and we're safe? Question mark? Well, I doubt for long, but we'll see. As the ship glides into place on the connecting bridge, its automatic system nudges there by the port docking protocols. Why? That was a tongue twister there. Nudged there by the port's docking protocols. Okay, that wasn't that hard. I just struggled with it there for a second. You feel a sense of relief. Seraphin burned hard out of dark side. Oh, that's right. We were in dark side. Okay. So where are we now? The belt. We're in the belt. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I was actually just watching a TV show that was kind of in this similar setting with space stations around the belt. It's a very good series until the last season where it was rushed, like almost always happens when a show has been running for too long and it's not getting enough views. It was The Expanse, by the way. I wasn't doing that for like dramatic effect. I was blanking on the name until like just now. So if it sounded like I was being dramatic, I wasn't. I'm just terrible at remembering names. Seraphin burned hard out of dark side, and you dropped in and out of consciousness in your seat as the rig made its way across the belt. But now, with open space between you and Lane, you feel fresher, more awake. Seraphin breaks his silence. We're good, sleeper. His eyes don't leave the monitor, and you realize this part of the escape is routine for him. You and he must have docked the ship countless times in your work for Lane. The problem is, you don't remember any of them. We made it, he whispers, closing his eyes and letting out a sigh. We certainly did. He turns and I would like to make friends with this guy. I mean, I'm sure I'm already friends with this guy, but I don't know. I don't know it. But this guy seems cool, and he helped me out there. So yeah, I'm not just gonna ignore him. I mean, unless I was making like a personal character choice of being like the strong silent type, but no, I'd rather. Yeah, I gotta make friends where I can, you know? He turns and you see a pained look on his face, as if remembering something difficult. Have you said this exact thing to him before? In the same situation? Oh, why? No, why did that make him feel bad? Are you okay? He looks at you, chewing one side of his lips, searching your face. No, really, he puffs. Seraphin reaches up, flicking through a set of switches in a practical fashion, completing the shutdown. You watch, a little frustrated with your own uselessness. Running the rig, you realize it's just another thing you've forgotten. A clunk that runs through the walls of the ship is followed by a short percussive alarm tone from the pilot's console. Docking complete. Seraphin kicks off from his seat, twisting as he glides past you towards the back of the cockpit. His hands find the rails on either side of the door, and he pauses, facing to the corridor beyond. He turns back to you, backlit in cold cyan. We need a plan. He glances around. Lane's not going to let us slip away quietly. We need to talk. Seraphin furrows his brow. Not now, sleeper. We need to forget. He flinches, the words coming out wrong. We need to focus on something other than... He pauses again, unsure. Us. He sighs. We need to survive things first. Then, maybe we talk. Do we persist, or... I feel like we should talk. But maybe he's right. Maybe now is not the best time. But I wanna talk though. But no, I think he's right. I think now's not the best time. Seraphin nods, but the tension remains. We bought ourselves some time. He glances through the cockpit window at the blinking lights of the station. You may not remember Hexport, but I do. And there are plenty of opportunities here for us. If we can keep our heads down, he turns back to the corridor. That's what we'll do. He pushes off and glides towards the main lock, and you follow, pulling yourself along, hand over hand, in 0G. We already emptied the tank on this thing. He slaps a hand against the ship's insides, so we need to refuel, and that won't be cheap. But if you and I know one thing, Sleeper, it's how to work. I'm gonna get myself reacquainted. See if I can turn up any old connections. People that might throw us an easy contract. He glances back over his shoulder. You keep out of trouble. I don't wanna... Low profile. Got it. Seraphin stops at the airlock. Stopping the reboot halfway through. He pulls a worn crew jacket from his locker and starts pulling it on. We don't know what that did to you. He jams an arm into his sleeve. I don't want you passing out and... He stops. It'll take both of us. I hate it when you're right. He grabs onto the crew jacket and thrusts it at you. Just put the damn hood up, will you? You take it and slip it on. Thank you. Seraphin nods. He stabs at the button to open the lock. The inner door hisses open, and Seraphin glides through. Wait for a little bit, then leave. Anyone looking for us will be looking for two people traveling together. He looks at you in your worn crew jacket, a limited disguise for what is clearly a sleeper. We meet back here later. Any troubles? Same thing. Meet here. He surveys your disguise again and shakes his head. This is a shitty idea. He gives you one last look. Maybe find yourself something to eat. Suddenly you recognize Seraphin's instinct to look after you. A flash of a relationship now lost to the reboot. Catch! Seraphin throws a handful of something towards you. You manage to grab the projectiles, and when you open your hand, you see a stack of cryochits. Those should get you some food. We need some more for fuel and supplies. He grimaces. That means odd jobs on the station, for both of us. Seraphin kicks up and glides down the docking bridge. Don't go too far, right? He shouts as he leaves. Take it slow! And with that, he's gone, leaving the connection bridge and heading into Hexport's docking concourse. Wait for a moment in silence. Gonna think about Seraphim. It's hard to know what's going on inside Seraphim's head. Here he is on some hapless escape plan with a friend who can't remember a thing about him. You try to imagine how close you both have been for him to agree to this thing, but it's painful to think about. And that's all gone now anyway. All you can do now is move on. You shake the thought from your head and pull the jacket tight. Let's see what Hexport has to offer. You kick off and glide into port. Welcome to Citizen Sleeper 2, Starward Vector. The game runs in cycles, during which you can perform actions with your dice. Use cryo to buy food, fuel, supplies, and items. Progress clocks towards new scenes and events. Progress clocks, scenes, events. You can review tutorials at any time in the guide section of the pause menu. Alright guys, well I'm afraid my time is up here. We will continue this another time. Till then, thanks for listening.